it's Jane Caldwell. Now in this video I'd like to talk a little bit about our negative self-talk, which we all do. Constantly berate ourselves within our own heads with our critical self-voices, and we do a better job than probably anyone generally on the outside of us. And how's that working for you? Is one of the things. But why do we do this? We all do it, and it's a nice acceptance to understand that this is something we naturally do. But yeah, why do we do this? We have got a natural negative bias. One of our cognitive biases is towards negativity other than positivity, and that's something that to be aware of, really. We also, when we're younger, as much as our caregivers, parents, etc., do the best they can generally, and I've done it with my kids for certain, said things that we shouldn't have said. Now if we can understand that, and we're all just doing the best we can, and let go of things, if you're holding on to things from your past and how parents or whatever have been, we're all just doing the best we can, and if we can kind of focus on that and send a bit of forgiveness to it, that actually can help things like the negative self-talk anyway in that respect. Now the other thing is we've got the spotlight and kind of magnification within media, haven't we, in news, which airs on the worst stories and all of that, and that just reinforces how we are in our minds, because we see these things, so we focus on it, and the more we focus on anything, the more we get that kind of way of being. Whatever you focus on is what you get. So in that respect, it's a good idea to kind of tune down the negative things, and tune up more positive things where you can, because there are, but there's lots of good news stories out there. It's great, and a bit of balance in that at least is probably a good thing. And we also, the other thing we do is, some of us are imperfection. I've just written my notes down, so if I keep, because I'm tired, it's getting late here at the moment, and I've just written all this down, so I want to make sure I tell you everything I've written. So I will be referring to my piece of paper today. So some of us run a perfection pattern as well. It's like, the thing is with the horizon, if you imagine the horizon is something we'll never reach ever, and that's kind of what happens with the perfection pattern. And some people think it's a good thing because they kind of can see it as that they understand what quality is, and all of that. But in a way it can be quite harmful, because that's when something can never quite be good enough ever. And so we can be running feeling a discontentment, expectations are higher than what actually happens, so there's disappointments and losses and sad, and all of that. So the perfection pattern, be careful if you're someone who runs that one, and allow yourself to be imperfectly perfect, and enjoy just being naturally who we are, kind of thing, instead, because that can feel a lot better, and certainly very much less critical as well. Now so that's the thing is as well, when we're at school, often, the focus is often on the mistakes, isn't it? The ones where we didn't get right. So all of the things that you've done really well at kind of don't get focused on, and that can, that becomes our habit of thinking as well. Focusing on what we're good at is a really good way of feeling better and talking really well to ourselves. So what are you good at? And what you're doing really well at, and remembering what you've done well at in the past. And if, and think about projects you can do going forward, because, the thing is as well, what we're naturally good at, we tend to don't give ourselves enough credit for. And I don't know about you, but when did you last, I can't remember the last time I gave myself a pat on the back and I did a good job there. It is something else that we don't do enough of. And if you can tune into I did a good job there, and actually feel it and go, well done, in a way it doesn't have to be a big-headed way, but just genuine well done, and that can help as well. Now, the other thing you can do with negative self-talk is really ridicule it and just, literally give your head a shake, like, imagine a friend in a pub might do, and take the mick out of it. You can also do, mantras like, there's a really good one, like, and I'm going to swear, but it's like, shut the fuck up. And that's a good one. Just say it strongly, because your mind needs direction. Now, you want to stop that one and say something better. Now, so that creates a new habit of thinking as well. So you can do that. And just, going back to the confidence, doing it more before you go to bed, just remembering what you're really good at, and give yourself gratitude and be thankful for that, and allow yourself those feelings, because all of those feelings gives you, fires off better neurons for you. And the other thing you can do is, these I am statements. I don't know if you've heard of them, but if you just put on a piece of paper the I am, and write down the side of it, write down special and unique. Now, for every letter on that you've written, write down something that you are, and say those words. Now, by saying those words out loud, you're actually sending it into your auditory functions, so it reinforces it in a different way with different neurons. And say it in a way that you're convinced with. If you think some of the words you say might be a bit too much, just start with something, I am doing okay, I am anything like that that's positive, and work it up, and do it before you go to bed, and believe in it, because all of that strengthens more of the good things within you, and these things really do work. So I hope that's the thing is as well, often in this world we get believed it's kind of what we do in this world is how people see us as who we are. It's the only way sometimes people can understand and gauge where you are or who you are, by what you do. But the thing is, who you are isn't about what you do. Who you are is who you are. And when you believe in what you do and you love in what you do, it's good to do more of that as well, and become more of who you are in what you do, which gives people more of a truer understanding of who you really are anyway, if that makes sense. So remembering who you are is you, and who you are is 10 out of 10. And what you do can always be improved, and why not improve it and move forward in a way that's better for you. So that's all I want to say for today. So all the best with that negative self-talk, and it's all a load of BS anyway. So all the best, and I'll see you next week.